So we didn't want you to miss it, but we're going to focus on the first reading instead of the gospel. And it's all there and all appropriate for now, even though a little bit of this was written 6 months ago. Jesus says pretty clearly, don't worry. Now, we just did a whole series on worry, and it's coming at a good time, maybe because of coronavirus, that we need to be reminded. But worry just seems to creep up on us. It certainly did me. I caught myself this week worrying, and I have great confidence that many of you did too. The word worry comes from a German word that means to strangle, constrict, or choke. Sounds familiar to me. Worry drives a wedge in our relationship with God. It is not a sin. Worry is not a sin, but it does say something about our belief in God's ability and desire to meet our needs. Worry is about control or loss of control. God, think about that first reading and what happened with the Israelites. You know the story. God had brought the people out of Egypt with one miracle after another, and here these people found fault with Moses and said to him, "Give us water to drink." And Moses said to them, "Why do you find fault with me? Why do you put the Lord to the test?" Unbelievable, really, that God has come through again and again to meet their needs, but they still worry that God will not provide for them. So Moses prays to God, "What shall I do with these people? They're almost ready to stone me." When we worry about what God will not, or that God will not provide for our needs, we become fearful. And when we become fearful, then we can become very self-centered. Exhibit 1, toilet paper shortage. When I don't trust that God will provide for me, all I can think about is me. When I don't trust to come through God, to come through for me, and think I need to be in control of my own universe, it becomes more difficult for me to love you. Worry obstructs my ability to grow closer to God, and it hinders my ability to love the people around me. And notice the sign of the cross there. So God tells Moses, take his rod, strike the stick, and water will flow out of it. And Moses does it, and it worked, and they were saved again. He saved them until their next worry. Well, worry is bad, and I'll bet you a quarter you knew that before you came in here tonight. Not really the point. So how to avoid worry? First, identify what worries you. What is the cause of your concern? Coronavirus? A concern is when we acknowledge something is important. Well, that's important. A concern will get our attention, but a worry causes us to lose a sense of peace in our heart. Second, once you identify, we have to decide we don't want to worry anymore. And if you think, I can't help but worry and there's nothing I can do about it, you're right. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, make a decision right now that with God's grace, you are not going to allow worry about coronavirus or anything else to take your life away a little bit at a time and waste your time. Be prepared, just don't worry. Wash your hands, just don't worry. Buy some toilet paper. Just don't buy all the toilet paper. Third, do your part in providing solutions by making wise decisions. Trusting in God does not mean we do not take responsibility for ourselves. If you're stranded in a rowboat offshore, pray to God, but paddle like crazy. Seek wisdom and make wise, informed choices. Don't get your advice on how to avoid this virus from your uninformed friends on Facebook. Listen to some real experts. And once you get wise counsel, follow through on what you have learned. And most importantly, and not finally, pray. You can worry or you can pray, but it's very difficult to do both. Prepare, pray, and fight back with love. Did you see the YouTube video of the Italians singing to each other on their balconies? If you haven't, check it out in the parking lot before you leave tonight. It's beautiful. They're encouraging each other. Fight back with love. And what some of you can do, particularly you young people, is pick up your cell phone and phone the most at-risk people that you know and tell them that you love them. Older folks, that greatest generation that we talk about, like your grandparents or my parents, it's something you can do to fight the fear. Donate to the food bank here at St. Peter or St. Vincent de Paul. Ask your friends if they need help. Remember our sister parish. We're going to watch a video in a moment. Remember the people in the Bahamas? You think their worry is over? Certainly not. Come up with your own plan. I'm sure that the best plan might come from some one mind in here, if you think about it. If you go out to dinner or get a delivery, if you can afford it, tip big. They probably need it. Bottom line, fight back with love. Trade your worry for his peace. Christ is in everything that happens to us. Look for him in this, and know that every experience that you have has an outcome of love.